Welcome to Quiet Enough to Ride, part of the Beyond the Chutes podcast. I'm Doug Simcox, and along with my partner Sam Swearingen, we're here to talk about the rodeo mindset. It's about more than just competition. It's about building the mental toughness, focus, and resilience that carry you through challenges in rodeo, racing, wrestling, and beyond. This is episode 8. What does it mean to be present? Today we're exploring what it really means to stay in the moment. We'll talk about why being present is essential for top performance, how it impacts your focus, and how it helps you handle pressure. Being present isn't just about reacting to what's in front of you. It's about fully engaging with every moment to give your best effort. We'll see how these ideas can enhance your rodeo performance and make a difference in every part of your life. Let's get started. This is Quiet Enough to Ride. Welcome to Beyond the Chutes is presented by Parasite Systems. I'm your host today, Doug Simcox, and I'm coming to you from Taylorsville, Kentucky. And on the phone is Mr. Sam Swearingen. He's in Texas, and he, of course, is a two-time North America Rodeo Commission saddle bronc riding champion. He is a rodeo athlete. He is a stock contractor. And today he is a rodeo mentor and a huge rodeo fan. Sam, are you there?
I am, Doug.
And where is there exactly?
Sulphur Springs, Texas.
Okay. And how are things in Sulphur Spring? What's the weather like there?
It was beautiful today. Just beautiful.
So 50s, 60s? What are you saying?
75.
Holy smokes. Okay. Very, very nice. Well, we've warmed up here just a little bit. Today was in the mid 50s, low 60s. So that felt really, really good. So yeah, I much prefer that than that 15-degree weather I had the other morning.
Yeah, and it's supposed to back down to 50s and 60s. So, and then warm up towards the end of the week. It's good. It's better than all that snow.
You bet. Oh, for sure. Absolutely, for sure. And we want to kind of with a sad heart here, Sam. I learned earlier this week that Brad Nelms, Virginia cowboy, owner of the BSN Productions, was killed in an airplane crash last week. And wife Chelsea, 3 boys, a little girl that's about a year old. And Sam, you introduced Brad to me in 2018. We were at the SEBR Finals in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And I believe you told me you had to go pick him up at the airport.
I think I took him to the airport.
Okay.
Well, maybe I picked him up and brought him back. I'm not sure what it was. But we gave a ride to her from the airport and towed her home with me carrying the boys. And yeah, we got to know each other, met his wife. Yeah, just such a shame.
Oh.
Such a shame.
Yeah, absolutely. And you introduced Brad to me. I actually talked with his wife, Chelsea, right there at the SEBR Finals to see if we could get connected on. He was doing bull ridings and of course, he had interest in me possibly announcing for him. And I did, I think 2 or 3 shows for him in Shepherdsville, just about an hour south of Louisville, which is actually where I met Marcus Mass, the PBR bull rider. One of my greatest memories, Brad called me and said, "Hey, I got a bull riding that I want to do in West Virginia. Would you want to come and do it?" And I thought about it a little bit, and I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do, Brad. You fly me from Louisville to Abingdon, Virginia." And knowing that he was a pilot, Sam, knowing that he was a private pilot, I said, "I'll do it. I will do it." And man, we left Louisville on a Friday afternoon. There were 3 of us that flew in. We flew into Abingdon, Virginia, and landed. His buddy got out of the plane there. Then Brad and I circled back. We went back into West Virginia to do a Saturday night bull riding. And just so cool to be up with Brad and spend spend time with him. And then we hung out at the house there with Brad and Chelsea, and then we went to a late lunch with his mom in Bristol, Virginia, and then we flew back, Brad, Chelsea, and me, and flew over the Bristol racetrack. And just what a cool, great rodeo adventure. One of my top memories of announcing and just the adventure. And Sam, the relationships that we developed. We talk about that a lot here, but man, I don't know that we would have gotten connected, Sam, if he wouldn't have raised his hand and said, "Hey, can you give me a ride to the airport?"
Yeah. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Just very nice young man. Really, really hard to swallow and realize that.
Yeah. And
he's got young kids. And, just tough man.
Very, very tough. So keep them in your thoughts, in your prayers. And there's a fundraiser out there. They're selling T-shirts, beautiful T-shirts that Chelsea Nelms has created. You can get them on Rustic Edge Designs, and beautiful T-shirts, and all the proceeds, after costs, of course, go to the family. And I'll let you guys know if there's anything else that they're doing to raise funds. But Brad absolutely loved flying, Sam. He absolutely loved flying. And he was a good pilot, and he spent a lot of time learning. He spent a ton of time learning. So, something like this, Sam, we think missing a bronc out or not drawing upright is a big deal. Things like this change our perspective, and just how important it is to remember, family and friends and these relationships, Sam, because when it's all done, you aren't going to remember every bronc ride, but you remember a lot of the folks that you come across.
And that's what it's about. An old friend that used to work for me called me this morning, and I hadn't talked to him in years. He said, he didn't even know I sold the company. He said, "Well, how do you like retirement life?" I said, "It's good and it's bad,
Yeah.
but I don't miss the trucks on the road late at night, things going wrong and all that. But I said, I do miss the people.
Yep.
I very much miss the people that gave me livelihood through past 30-some years. So they get to be like family. It's just a sad day.
Yeah. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. And as we've started this podcast series, and quite frankly, every time we do a podcast, whether it's an interview or an update on an event somewhere, a rodeo reunion, whatever it might be, when I'm recording, and I think this is true of you too, I'm thinking almost in my mind that I'm riding right seat in these vans and these pickups that are going down the road. And so that's kind of our family now, Sam. These are the relationships. We aren't hearing back from them directly in these conversations, but boy, we've got them in our hearts and our minds as we go through these conversations.
So correct. Thank you.
Yeah. And fourth round of the NFR is in the books. Folks that we thought would come out with a bang haven't so far. But my fantasy rodeo team, Sam, I'm happy to say, earned $157,000. My team has. And there's only 83 of the teams that are ranked higher than me. Only 83%. So there's
only 83%.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I looked at yours. I mean, you've got darn near double my money at $269,000, and only 35% of the teams are ranked higher. So you're going. But man, we've got a couple on here, Sam, that we have in common. Uh-oh. Are you there, Sam? I got you. Are you there?
Yep.
You're okay. No, I had you all the way through.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. But we've got a couple guys and gals that just haven't hit yet, but still 6 rounds to go. That's how I'm going to look at it. 6 rounds to go. And one of the things that I noticed was this year at the NFR, they got instant review. If you missed out a bronc, they're going to go back and review it. If there was a livestock infraction, you're waived out, they go back and review it. And that's really, really cool. And that's time for that at the NFR. And I got to say thank you to the folks at the IPRA. They introduced that last year, Sam. We were down in January, the Lazy Arena for the International Finals Rodeo. We saw it there.
Yeah, and it's really important, especially for these guys that go all year long and a bad call can hurt them. They did overturn one of the markouts. I see they said he missed him out. They reviewed it. He didn't, so they let it go.
Yep.
Which that's great. So you can't. It's definitely a step in the right direction. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not putting anybody down, but I wonder what will happen if somebody thinks they got a bad flag or they get flagged out for saying the steer fell down when they threw one or a crossfire. If they would review that, or they just let it, just move on.
Yeah.
So if they do review it, if it's just a questionable call,
yeah,
that would be wonderful.
And
they're doing it fast.
And they're doing it fast. They've got 4 or 5 people up in that booth, I mean fast. You're not seeing the replays, it moves right along. And that's a very positive thing. And the show must go on, right? So I love it. I love it. I mean, just one mark out that had been called off, now given back, that's already worth the whole concept right there.
Right. Yeah. It's wonderful.
So a new rodeo season's begun, and of course, in January 16th through the 19th, the International Finals Rodeo, number 55, Sam. Number 55 will be at the Lazy Arena in Guthrie, Oklahoma. And that new launch of the new year sparked our desire to get this podcast series rolling. And as I said earlier, Sam, first podcast series we've ever done. And of course, it's a 3 R's podcast. What's that stand for?
Rodeo, racing, and wrestling.
I love that. I always have to pause after that. I know people are out there going, these guys, these guys.
They're cowboys. I can't smell.
Yeah. And we're calling this series Quiet Enough to Ride. This is, I think, number 8, if I'm not mistaken, Sam. So things are rolling. And today we're going to be talking about something simple, yet incredibly powerful, and that is being present. And in the fast-paced, high-pressure world of rodeo, being present isn't just a buzzword. We hear this all over the place, Are you in the moment? Are you here? Are you with me? Being present, it's a skill that can transform your performance and mindset. And because it's a skill, we get to practice. And I love that. I love that. It isn't something I'm born with. Let me take that back. It is something that we've been born with, or we are born with. It's just something we've learned how not to be present, quite frankly. And so in this episode, we're going to explore what it means to be present, how awareness, focus, and quieting the mind play a role, and how to bring yourself back to the moment when it matters most. So let's start with what it means to be present. Being present means fully engaged in the moment you're experiencing right now. It's right now. Let me say it again. This moment right now. It's about letting go of the past and not worrying about the future. Instead, you focus all your attention on what's happening around you and within you, your surroundings, your body, and your thoughts. Being in the moment. Here, now, present. Fully engaged, actively listening, quiet mind and aware of what is around me. Not distracted by what is around me, but aware of it. So when we think of this time continuum, and I've talked about this in the past, so here is the present moment. Before the present moment is the past, and after the present moment is the future. And Sam, where do you think most folks spend the majority of our time? Is it in the moment? Is it in the past? Or is it in the future?
The past?
I would say, and I don't have any stats. I didn't ask it very well.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong answer.
I was wrong. Okay.
No, and I think you're spot on. That's what I would say. So when you think about it, it's this cycle, it's this circle we get ourselves caught in, this loop. A focus on the past, like you just said, can create fears of doing it again, making that mistake again, or doing it wrong again. Which, guess what? As we focus on the past, we project it into the future, right? And what we spend a lot of time doing is we project it in the future. We spend a lot of time worrying. And when I focus on the future and I have an upcoming run, and I think of my last run, Sam, which maybe didn't go very well, I now begin to worry. And I heard this saying, several years ago, that worry is like sitting in a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere.
Well, I'm a fine one to say this because I worry about everything, but it's like eating soup with a fork. You stay real busy, but you don't get much done.
There you go. I love it. See, so we've spent some time and thought about this sort of thing. In rodeo, being present means tuning into your horse, holding your rope, feeling your rope, or feeling the bull beneath you. It's about shutting out the noise of the crowd, the noise of the stock contractor on the back of the buck and chute that's saying, come on, come on, come on. It's not worrying about the pressure of the clock and the worry about what just happened or what's next. And there's a way we can do this. There's a way we can begin to build this mental game of being present. Sam, we've talked about writing things down to empty the mind, right? Okay. And it's a great habit to get into. I mean, we all make lists, right? We all make lists, to-do lists, and chores that have to be done, and people I got to call, whatever it may be. But if we can write it down, we get to empty it out of our brain and put it on a piece of paper. And then we can practice breathing like we talked about last episode. Or we can sit quietly as we're driving down the highway, or sit quietly in the morning having our cup of coffee, or in my case, my cup of tea, or going out for a quiet walk where I get to focus on the things that are around me and look and listen. And then, of course, we can also practice visualization, because in visualization, it's right now in the moment, me going through the run or the ride. And then finally, setting an intention of presence. Visualization with all else blocked out. And here's the thing, don't force it. If you're sitting quietly and if you find yourself wandering off in thought, simply begin again. And I'll go one step further, Sam. Celebrate the fact that you had the awareness to notice your mind was wandering off. Okay? Begin again. Yep. Begin again. But let's celebrate if I get lost in my thoughts, in my daydreams or whatever. At a certain point, I'll come back to, I'm to focus on this, or I'm to focus on that. And our awareness, we're going to find here in just a moment, is a muscle that with practice that with practice can really help. Now, if I'm sitting there and I'm trying to be quiet and I'm practicing my quietness and something just is too distracting to me, okay, meaning my mind is running so fast, maybe pull out your list again, write it down, highlight it in green. Do not forget whatever you want to write on the paper. But once you write it down, as we've said, there's real power to have it out of your mind. You get to empty your mind and then go sit down and be quiet again. Practice, and Sam, practice perfect. And 10 seconds of quietness, right? Or 10 seconds of space in our mind. Let's take it. Let's celebrate that. And then maybe we can, do that for a few days, and maybe, or 10-second spots over the course of 5 minutes sitting. So let's shift to awareness, which I would say is the foundation of present. To be present, you first need awareness. Awareness means knowing and noticing things. It's understanding what's happening around you and inside you, your thoughts, your feelings, and even your physical sensations. I had a spiritual teacher one time say that we are nothing but awareness, that we are recording data all the time. I know if I'm hot or cold without thinking about being hot or cold. I am gathering data all the time. And it's just a shift of our focus that brings our attention to the various senses that we have. So, as kind of a practice, let's think of this. Okay, I'm going to step you through this, Sam. I'm going to ask you some questions, and you can answer or not answer. That's okay. But let's talk about bring your focus and your attention, and this is to anybody anywhere, sitting at work, sitting on their horse, listening to this podcast, driving down the highway at 2 o'clock in the morning. Question number 1, how would you describe the temperature right now? Is it cool, warm, just right? Are you feeling a breeze? Can you feel the temperature on your hand? The external temperature on your hand. Bring your focus to that. So let's bring our focus to what we're seeing. If you're driving down the highway, if you're sitting in your chair, what are you seeing? Notice colors, shapes, movements, and look at these things with curiosity. And just allow yourself to see, but bring your focus to your seeing. And sounds. What are you hearing? Of course, you're hearing my voice, but there's other sounds. Do you have the sounds of the highway? Do you have the sounds of the wind around you? Do you have the sounds, if you're standing behind the buck and chute, of the cheers of the crowd? And this can be as important as what are you hearing, what aren't you hearing? Do you hear the quietness in amongst all this stuff? Can you find the space? And then smells. Can you pick up any scents? Might be a hamburger sitting beside you that you've picked up for dinner. Might be your air freshener in your truck as you're headed down the road. Might be fresh hay. Might be leather. Might be the smell of a horse. the smell of an animal. And then physical feelings. How's your body feel? Are your muscles tense or relaxed? I like to do a head-to-toe scan. One of the muscles we have that probably has the most tension in it, where stress and sometimes manifests itself, your jaw. Your shoulder blades. Your biceps. Big muscle groups where tension, stress, strains can be part of it. Your thighs. The thighs that propel you forward. How would you describe them right now? Your calves. They give you the bounce in your step. And now some of the smaller, maybe not as noticeable, your forehead. Is your forehead relaxed? Which drains down into your eyes, which drains into another very, very important muscle, your tongue. Is your tongue as you sit against the roof of your mouth, or is it relaxed? Can be an indication that you're focused on something, that you're under stress on something. So can you allow your tongue to just come along for the ride and relax? What about your fingers, your thumbs? What about your toes? Wiggle your toes. How would you describe them? And then we're going to go where a lot of folks don't necessarily go, but let's think about our thinking. One of my good friends, David, we're going to talk about him in an upcoming episode. He's the one who said, hey, can you turn yourself down enough to, meaning can you quiet yourself enough? He coined the phrase, let's think about our thinking. So right in this moment, what's going on in your mind? What are you thinking about? How would you describe your mind? Are your thoughts calm and focused? Scattered? Anxious? So bringing your attention, bringing your awareness can have an impact on how you think. One of the exercises that I've seen done in the past, or one of the descriptions I've seen done in the past, you step back and you watch, you project your thoughts that come up almost as onto a screen like you're sitting in the front row of a movie. So you can watch the stories, the thoughts, the feeling-fueled thoughts or memories that come up. By building awareness of these details we just went through, you anchor yourself in the present moment and you create a foundation for focus and clarity. Sam, any feedback after going through those points of awareness that I just raised, the questions I just asked?
No, say no. It's what we do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the focus on driving, focus on riding your horse, you know, out through the pasture, you focus on checking the cows, checking the horses, you go out through them and just really look around and see if everything's okay, if something's coughing or lame, whatever. But when you do it in the rodeo world, you can get ready to ride, you do your little breathe. I used to push it out, sit down, but you want to focus on the task at hand.
Yeah.
Try to eliminate everything else. Focus on the task at hand.
Perfect. And you're you're spot on. And I'll pick up on focus, and really you're directing your attention, right? Bring your attention to. It's the power to direct this this awareness, attention towards what matters most. Sam, your example's spot on. During a ride, focus on the feel of the horse beneath you, the feeling of your seat in the saddle, your thighs in the saddle, you're putting your boots in the stirrups, the rhythm of the ride, and so forth. And here's one thing, Sam. With the visualization, with the practice, we know how to ride by heart. And in the visualization or whatever, can you run through it without thought? Not what I have to do, no judgments. Can we simply allow and do? And we'll talk about that maybe in the practice mode of this. But in the chute, focus on your breathing, your grip, and the moment the gate opens. Not the score you need to beat. Not what you did the last time you rode a bull or a bronc. Focus on that moment. Bring all your intense focus there. And on a bucking machine, again, make the 8-second ride without thought. Know what I have to do. No judgments. Simply allow and do. It's practice. So let's practice, if we can, without thought, super highly focused on what the body knows what to do. And when you combine this awareness and the focus, you're fully in the moment, prepared to respond. Your body knows how to respond to whatever that bull or that bronc or that pattern or that calf or that steer throws your way. So we're going to talk about the key to presence. One of the biggest challenges in being present is the noise in our minds. We've talked about this. Thoughts about past mistakes, future outcomes, or external distractions can pull us away from the moment. Quieting the mind is the key to staying focused and present. Here are 3 techniques to quiet the mind. Breathing to center yourself. Breathing calms the nervous system and brings your attention to the present. In our last episode, we talked for an hour about breathing. We talked about box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold your breath for 4, exhale for 4, hold your breath again for 4. And we know that athletes and performers and Navy SEALs do this to stay calm under pressure. And then we did the 4, 7, 8. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold your breath for 7 counts. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts, whatever works for you. And Sam, here is where I think you were doing, where you pushed out the breath. That number 3, what they talked about, that quick centering breath. Doesn't take but a few seconds. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold it for just a moment and exhale forcefully through your mouth. Let your body go. Let go of any tension. Nod your head. It's time to go.
Yeah, and that's yeah.
Did you do that? Did you do that?
That
Was a habit?
and it wasn't on the horse. It was right before I crawl on.
Before you crawl on. Okay.
Yeah, I might have the buck grain measure in my hand, ready to go, and then let out a big old bear, step over onto it.
And where did you get that practice? Do you remember where you picked that up?
No idea.
But it was a habit. I mean, that was part of your process.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And as we said earlier, it takes 21 days to build a habit. So we can do that now, Sam. We got a lot of time before the rodeo season gets busy. So we got lots of time to spend those 21 days building the habits. And then, Sam, they talked about mentally rehearsing success, visualization. And we've talked about this. Maxwell Maltz, Larry Mahan, Gary LeFew, they said this is where you want to go. We're actually got an upcoming episode where we're gonna step through the visualization process. And we know that visualization helps the brain and the body prepare for the task as if it's already happening. And we'll get into that a little bit deeper, but you just relax, quiet yourself, and you develop your practice. Close your eyes and imagine yourself performing perfectly. Visualize every step of the ride, the run, or the throw, which includes your chute procedure, what you do, like Sam just said, before you crawl over. And engage all of your senses. Feel your hand in the rope or a hold of the bronc rein, the feel of your seat on the bull, the warmth of the bull, the inside of the chute, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the noise of the crowd. See the arena. Practice, perfect. A barrel racer might visualize running a flawless pattern, feeling their horses respond perfectly to each clue. And then they say, let's use some self-affirmations. And positive affirmations, and we're going to get into what that is, what affirmations are. We want positive affirmations to replace doubt and fear with confidence and clarity. What it is, an affirmation is a positive statement or declaration that is used to encourage and reinforce a specific mindset, belief, or goal. Affirmations, we want to repeat them regularly as a way to influence our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. They're used in personal development, mental conditioning, athletic endeavors, and wellness practices to build confidence, reduce stress, and help achieve goals. Some quick characteristics of affirmation: they must be positive, focused on what you want to achieve, not what you want to avoid, what you want to achieve. Number 2, they must be present tense, written or spoken, and there's power in writing these things down, putting them on your mirror. Written or spoken as if the desired outcome is happening now. For example, I am calm and confident. In this moment, right now, it's happening. And they're specific. They're tailored to that particular goal, challenge, or area of growth. We said that a little bit earlier. And finally, they are action-oriented, inspiring belief in taking steps towards success. Examples: I am capable and prepared for any challenge. Or, I trust my training and my instincts. Or, each day I grow stronger and more focused. Or, I handle pressure with confidence and clarity. Or, success flows to me through hard work and persistence. So how affirmations work: they help us by reprogramming the subconscious mind from shifting negative self-talk into empowering beliefs. It's rewiring. We are reprogramming. We are unbrainwashing what is already there. They help us to build confidence, reinforce a positive self-image. And Maxwell Maltz, in his book Psycho-Cybernetics, talked about the importance of self-image and the belief in your abilities. Affirmations help by improving focus, keeping your goals and mindset aligned with your desired outcomes. And finally, they help reduce stress. When we calm the mind and reduce anxiety by focusing on possible possibilities. Sam, thoughts?
And you're focused on possible possibilities. Just think of what the mind could do if you knew how to channel that.
You bet.
You have no idea how strong it is. And I'm just going to say this is about not being focused. I don't know how many of you do what I do, but we talking on the phone and say, oh, man, I just missed my exit.
Yeah.
I screwed up.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody,
yeah.
because you're not focused.
Yeah. Yeah. Now
I will. In the present.
Yeah. But you are engaged in the phone call.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot to be aware of in situations, for sure, like that. And you don't want to get so locked into your point that you miss an exit or you miss a brake light in front of you, Sam, or you miss a stop sign in front of you.
Yeah, or just not, like if you're getting ready to ride, you're not focused at the task at hand.
Yep.
Yep. So.
Yep.
Yep. That's just how being focused can make a difference. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So affirmations are powerful tools that when we use them consistently, we can reshape our mindsets and build the mental resilience that we need for success. So how do we do it? Create a simple, positive phrase that reinforces your ability and your mindset. Repeat it to yourself before and during competition. Examples, more examples. I am prepared and ready for this moment. I am calm, focused, and capable. Before a tie-down roping event, remind yourself, I trust my horse, my rope, and my ability. Or, I am a highly skilled bronc rider. I let it roll. So, what gets in the middle of our presence at a rodeo? And we've talked earlier about the creator and the victim mindset, how you approach the present moment. Also, we've said this, also depends on your mindset. Are you looking at a situation as a creator or a victim? And remember, a victim mindset focuses on what we don't want. Are you focused on what's wrong and what can't be controlled by you? As in, the ground conditions are terrible, there's no way I can run clean? Or are you focused on what you want? Focus on what you can do and what you want to achieve. An example is the ground is challenging, so I'll adjust my speed and I'll trust my horse. With awareness, you have the choice. And that's the number one thing, and I want to say this again. I think if we build any one skill, it's awareness. Because when we have awareness, we have choice. And we get to decide, do we want to shift from a victim mindset to a creator mindset? And if we do, we simply ask this one 4-word question: what do I want? And what'll happen is your mind will go to work and you will shift your focus from problems to possibilities. So, how to build presence in rodeo? Create that pre-routine that Sam talked about. Establish a consistent routine before every ride or run to bring yourself in the moment. As Sam just said, blow out that breath, intentionally blow out that breath before you step over, put your foot in the center of the saddle to slide in. Practice daily awareness. Spend a few minutes each day observing your surroundings and checking in with your thoughts and your feelings. Check in with a body scan like we did, starting at the top of your head all the way through your toes. All things to build that awareness muscle. And finally, let go of past and future thoughts. Use breathing or self-affirmation to release worries about the past or future and refocus on the present. We're actually going to have an episode on how we let go of the past. And then finally, let's reflect after performances, after each event, after each run, each ride. Take a moment to reflect. What went well? What can I improve? And how present was I during this performance? Sam, any thoughts on that before we roll towards closing this one out?
Well, that's something I never thought of, how present was, or how well was I engaged, how present was I there. And there's something to be said for that, And if you say, well, I was thinking about other things, you probably didn't do well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you were focused and engaged and present, it's going to help, no doubt about it.
Yep. And if you really think about the time that we're talking, if it starts when you pull out your bronc saddle, you attach your rein to your halter, whether it's throat latch or ring, sit on your saddle, heat up your rosin, and, clean things up and get ready to go, all the way through, getting off the pickup onto the pickup man after your bronc ride, Sam. How much time are we really asking to be present at the rodeo? Are we talking an hour total? And if it's just, hey, I gotta imagine, Sam, no less than when that bronc rolls in and you got the halter in your hand, it's time to go. It's time to get focused.
And it probably varies from rodeo to rodeo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How late am I running? What's going on? Am I there? When you see these young kids that are just starting, they are engaged all day.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Because you have to.
Yeah.
But I think as you mature and do things, it's not on your mind near as much.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
when it's time, I think it's on your mind more than it is the young kids, because you trained yourself. Okay, I'm doing this.
Yep.
And if something happens where that step isn't able to be done,
mm-hmm.
you gotta regroup and figure out what to do to still be good in the moment.
You bet. Absolutely. And as you say that, it really kind of boils down to, I got to be focused, maybe, Sam, or be completely in the moment when my seat, my butt hits the seat until the ride is over, right? So are you talking a minute of focus?
You're probably not even.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
So seems possible, right? Seems possible.
Sure.
And that list, filling out that list and putting it in your glove box, lock it safely in your truck or your car, your van. Boy, that just, that can be a big way to help calm yourself and get stuff out of your mind that you don't need to carry about.
Right.
So, mindfulness and learning from the past, how to practice visualization. Being present is a skill that can be developed with practice. by combining our awareness, our focus, our breathing, our mental rehearsals, our visualizations, and our self-affirmations. You can create a mindset that keeps you grounded, adaptable, and confident in any situation. We're going to invite you to take these tools into your next ride, your next run, or your next practice session. The more you practice presence, the more natural it will feel, and the better you will perform. Sam, the next time we get together, our next episode is going to be on It Is As It Is. You ever hear that being said?
Yes. Yes.
So we're going to break that down, and yeah. Okay.
Very good.
Very good. So any final words before we rock?
Nope. I think we're good to go.
Okay. Remember, we've got a couple challenges out there, and these, Sam, I was thinking, you've tried it. Get somebody else in your family, your friends or whatever to try it too. Remember, the challenges are the wall sit and pain. Remember, pain comes in when you sit in a wall sit position for very long. So remember, it's about allowing the pain versus pushing it away. And what kind of a change might we experience if we do that in the pain itself? The other challenge is the Eckhart Tolle exercise, where we said, get real focused and then ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought will be. And try that with your friend. Try it. Get them to listen to your voice as I did and say, okay, when I say go, then you say, then you get them to ask, I wonder what my next thought will be, and let them see what their experience is. So, Sam, we covered another ground as we always do. Do not forget the Brad Nelms fundraiser. I'll put this in the listener notes. It's rusticedgedesigns.com, and you'll find on there the Brad Nelms fundraiser. And remember to check out our Facebook page. We'd love to see your comments on this podcast series. As we said, the first one we've ever done. As we roll these things out, always good to have feedback, always good to be able to see how we're doing and focus and what's working and what's not working. You put the comments out there. You say, hey, want to know more about, or you said this, what does that mean? I'll bring it on the show. Sam and I want to thank all of you for joining us today on Beyond the Chutes. Until next time, stay present, stay focused, and we'll see you down the trail. This is
Sam Swearingen
and Doug Simcox. Thank you for listening.